Leadership has weight. Decision weight, emotional weight, moral weight. But there is one form of weight leaders almost never talk about: the emotional tax. This is Leadership Under Load, and I'm Ric Marks. And today we're examining the cost leaders quietly absorb and why most don't even realise they're paying it. So what is this emotional tax? There is a hidden agreement in leadership. And when pressure rises, people look up. They look for calm, clarity, containment, signal instead of noise. Whether you intend to or not, you become an emotional regulator for others. And that regulation is not free. It costs nervous system energy. It costs cognitive bandwidth. It costs recovery time. That's emotional tax. And most leaders don't track it. So how then does emotional tax accumulate? Emotional tax builds through absorbing frustration without processing it, staying composed in conflict repeatedly, managing underperformance without escalation, carrying bad news alone, and shielding teams from upstream volatility. None of this looks dramatic. It looks like leadership. But if you don't discharge that tax properly, it accumulates. And when it accumulates, patience shortens, cynicism increases, energy flattens, decision clarity dulls. Leaders often think they're burning out, but often they're overtaxed. Well, what's the nervous system reality? This is not mindset. It's physiology. And when you are constantly regulating others, your nervous system remains in controlled activation. You look calm, but internally you are braced. And braced leadership becomes normalized leadership. And that brace eventually leaks through tone, through detachment, through emotional numbness, through irritation at home. The emotional tax always gets paid. But the question is where? There are three failure patterns. The first is emotional suppression. You never process, you power through. You convince yourself you're fine. The result is delayed emotional spillover. The second is emotional dumping. You absorb pressure and then release it downstream, whether it's at home, in tone, in sarcasm, in micro reactions. But the results are that trust erodes. There's emotional withdrawal. You go flat, detached, and less available. And the result is disconnection disguised as composure. Structural correction. You don't fix emotional tax by being tougher. You fix it by designing recovery cycles, naming emotional load explicitly, distributing relational containment, stopping unnecessary overcarrying. Emotional regulation is a leadership skill, but emotional recovery is a leadership discipline. And most leaders train one, but ignore the other. And that's why stability must be structural. If you feel like you're constantly regulating others, if you sense emotional fatigue without visible chaos, you may be paying emotional tax without tracking it. Start with structure. The Leadership Stability course will help you map emotional load and correction misalignment before it leaks into your culture or your family And if you want a deeper diagnostic of your leadership architecture, book a stability conversation. Because leadership doesn't just cost effort, it costs energy. And leadership that endures is always load bearing. This has been Leadership Under Load.